question about trying ghosts is a question that people ask a lot. And one thing that's important to understand is that this trial, the Khmer Rouge trials, can only try people who are still alive.
There is not a Cambodian alive unaffected by Pol Pot. Like these two men who've just spent the night in a crotchet hotel in the northeast of the country. Though the older man suffered terribly under the regime, and the younger man was a Khmer Rouge soldier, perhaps they were, or rather are, both victims. Tom Mana was 30 when his family was executed. He was imprisoned, tortured, lucky to escape with his life. As a Khmer Rouge boy soldier, who knows what atrocities Kong Barit was persuaded or forced to carry out? For years he hasn't talked about it. Like most Cambodians, he's pulled a shutter on his memory. Today, though, there's a chance that these two men might just open up about the nightmare that engulfed them and their country. Pol Pot forced Cambodia back to year zero. Money, schools, towns, families were abolished. Anyone not bending the knee was purged. A quarter of the population perished. The legacy today is grinding poverty, bemused numbness, an undercurrent of violence. But justice is coming. Pol Pot is dead, but the trial of others, allegedly also responsible for crimes against humanity, is approaching. That's why the event taking place in Crotchet today is so important. It's one of a series of public forums. The aim is simple: to encourage sufferers and perpetrators to share their experiences under the regime of terror. This way, the revelations ahead may be less of a shock for the Cambodian people. The forums, created by the Center for Social Development and held all over Cambodia, 6 a year for 3 years, will run parallel with the trial. A huge outreach program will spread the word to millions. Many in the international community support the enterprise. The Canadian ambassador, for example, was prominent and active at Crotchet. But for now, everyone must be encouraged to speak out. There is much media interest. The BBC World Service and others covered Crotchet, and this is likely to increase greatly as the trial date gets nearer.
Now we would like to invite all of you come to your comfortable chair.
Cambodians over 40 carry vivid memories of Pol Pot's 3-8-20, 3 years, 8 months and 20 days of a brutal reign. The older they are, the greater the scars and shadow under which they still live. The Khmer Rouge spared no one. Children, ethnic groups, monks were wiped out. The soothing word reconciliation may sound easy to embrace by those born before the horror. But old or young, Cambodia's population needs to unite in understanding of what happened and why it happened, to ensure it never happens again.
Còn cua ta kiếm sao bảo của mùi nhẹ nó khai câu, tao mà khai cái che chiếc kiếm cho phúc mà phút, cho cả con là du tây lắm là du biển lắm là du của buôn lắm, hôm nay là du tao buôn lắm trên sông về cá bao nhiêu ăn được con năng thẩm tới chút thì thó xong rồi chút thì thó xong. Đôi chỉ lâu yên sari rồi còn lâu khiêu sầm phòn cái đấy chỉ bao nhiêuวันmau bị sập hàng, cho nên họ nắng che hơi mấy con mình bầm ra Khmer bài một cặp sầm lạp Khmer. Tới có tại đây miền tầm nâu lạt thị đại quạt một sạp một đặc ngonประเทศកម្ពុជាគាត់យកតាមប្រទេសណា
I just wanted to answer a few of the real specific questions. The question about trying ghosts is a question that people ask a lot. And one thing that's important to understand is that this trial, the Khmer Rouge trials, can only try people who are still alive. So in that way, perhaps the tribunal can serve people all over the world as well as those in Cambodia.
So, I mean, it must have been strange for you. You were a victim of the Khmer Rouge rule and then you had to fight with them. So what happened to you? And I mean, I know it's probably a long story, but briefly, what happened to you in the Khmer Rouge time?
នោះទៅការផ្សះផ្សានឹងការបង្រួបបង្រួមជាតិបានល្អបើកាលណាយកមេខ្មែរក្រហមយកទៅកាត់ទោសបានទាំងអស់ហើយបានគ្រប់គ្នាទៅហើយអាហ្នឹងខ្ញុំបានអស់ពីមន្ទិលក្នុងខ្លួន
Nobody commits a crime if they believe that they will be caught and punished.
គ្មានអ្នកណាមួយនឹងប្រព្រឹត្តបាបអក្រក់ទេបើសិនជាគាត់យល់ថាពេលដែលគាត់ធ្វើទៅហើយត្រូវបានគេកាត់ទោសគាត់
But what matters for our court is to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.